Gallifrey gals, Gallifrey gals, Gallifrey gals. Welcome to our sci-fi world. It's Gallifrey gals.
Hello, YouTube,
Patreon, everybody.
all y'all. Welcome to the Gallifrey Gals. Get wibbly
Get
wobbly.
wobbly. In so many different ways.
It's look, my emotions are wibbly wobbly.
My
body's
wibbly
wibbly
wobbly. Mentally, I am wibbly wobbly.
Let me tell you what.
Let us tell you what.
Hello, I'm Paula.
I'm Katrina.
And this is a show where we watch Doctor Who.
And we were just talking about right before this that Paula is so close. So close. I did just a small check-in to make sure like genuinely no spoils have happened, and they haven't. And
Nope.
y'all, we're so close. We're so close.
Soon I won't have to be protected anymore.
Oh, and
I'm
it's
pretty
gonna be
excited about it.
good. It's gonna be good, and I'm very excited. But before we get there, we need to get through series 13, episode 6. At least that first, and a couple others. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm sorry. We're on chapter 6 of the Flux, and it's called The Vanquishers.
The Vanquishers. Let's
Yes.
vanquish this evil.
Honestly,
Is this it? This is the end of the story
of
for
Flux.
I can't wait to see how it ends. I've been enjoying it
I know. Me
so
too.
much.
Me too. Me too so much. Me too so much. So yeah, there's really not much else. It's like it's time. We're coming to the end of that story. You know, we'll probably get a little previously like we always do, so we don't maybe have to run through it right now. Okay, we're gonna watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it. I like how Doctor Who'd you are right now, by the way. You got like a space shirt on. You got
know
your
what's
Doctor Who
great?
earrings.
Is that
It's dice. I love it.
yeah. And then of course the Doctor Who earring that is a die.
Dice. Yeah.
So good.
It's good. It's real good.
Okay, we're doing it.
All right.
Do not dally! Who's dallying? We were
Jericho.
You're not going to leave.
His jaw has gotten more.
Yeah.
I can't stop watching it. Ooh.
Get out of there before you get good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Out of the frying pan into the fire.
What are you doing here? Madam, who are you? And what are you doing in my tunnels?
How do you know the doctor? I'm the leader of human resistance against Sontaran occupation. The name's Stewart.
Here? Where's here?
Whoa.
Oh,
What? She's just all over the place.
Stuart! Jericho!
Wait. How am I here?
She's like, wait, first
What
important thing,
happens to ship?
must hug you.
Oh, come on, Doctor. Just concentrate on the here and now. Where's the biggest concentration of Sontaran craft on Earth? Yep, got it.
Weakly executed.
People rarely want to be crashed into. They tend to take precautions.
Ah.
Plus, we might get a peek at their operations.
Oh my
Win-win.
gosh.
Has anyone else noticed? Lots of dogs.
Huh. Oh my gosh, this is bonkers.
All your lost memories shall we see. House, a construction that makes no sense.
Has anyone else noticed? Lots of dogs.
Oh my goodness.
You okay?
I am now.
How long has it been for you two?
A few years.
We went all over the world. She was amazing. She is amazing.
Don't go all soppy on me now, Scout.
How would you get anyone in?
We've discovered a Sontaran weakness.
Why are they raiding Cornish? Oh, metabolic processing. Lesser gravity. Restorative gas composition. That would provoke a predilection.
What?
Any idea what she's talking
Nah.
Not a
no.
clue.
Yeah,
Normal
what?
service resumed.
Normal service resumed.
Oh dear, Commander Shallow.
Me.
Chocolate, how would that go down with your superiors?
about? Who are you?
Always wanted a little shop right on the corner, lots of footfall, well stocked. We know a couple who are keen to help the Sontaran cause in exchange for unlimited access to human chocolate.
Chocolate.
How's it Jericho? Wait, what is happening? Because they have the TARDIS.
Oh, I say.
I'm glad you're okay.
The good news is we can get you back to 2021.
I feel like there might be bad news.
Balance of alien occupation.
We need your percipient abilities in order for you and I to go undercover on an alien spacecraft.
Oh, Jericho.
Now I'm shut in with the dog. Were you my companion?
I can't talk because it would kill me. I have a synaptic collider implanted in my brain. There was a time I'd do anything for you, but you left me.
Wasn't that just like an ex?
You don't get to die yet. We'll decide when. Your biggest fear isn't yourself. It's the destruction of other things. You want to keep things alive. You want creatures to breathe. But why? Why is it better? Why is what you fight for better than what we will bring?
Because otherwise,
What is there?
why are we here?
You shouldn't be.
Damn.
That's why we exist. You and Division left us suffering. This is how we will repay you. Suspended, feeling every death, every dying particle on a loop.
See,
Holy moly.
Finally, where you belong. The last of the Lupari. How you must mourn them.
The last one?
My soldiers performed
Is that real?
admirably. Every single one dead.
Oh.
Harvester,
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna kill every last Sontaran.
I look forward to the combat.
I figured systems have a purpose, and if they're buried, it's to prevent interference. So I
Die.
interfered. If you disrupt the systems, the steps become active. We can make it from here if we run.
now I'm all about disrupting the systems.
Down the system, down the system. Go, go, go! Now where are you?
What is it you want us to do?
Our quantum readers predict multiple pathways.
I hope they warned them about how is this supposed to work?
To psychically evaluate all possibilities.
You want to know when and where it will happen?
Correct, human scum. The ultimate
Thanks.
cataclysm. Your service to Sontar will end in success or death. And the reward for success?
Death.
Death.
So, it's death and death.
Psychic load.
Good.
Your own torture chamber on a Sontaran ship at the heart of Sontaran Command. I've seen a lot of species make alliances with Sontarans. It never ends well. Speaking of species, what are you? Binary demi-species, but they're really rare. Oh! Am I right? Because you look really cool. I've been introduced.
You can call me Grand Serpent.
Is that what your parents call you? Darling, so cute. Probably responsible for any number of genocides. How am I doing?
I will be the one interrogating you. Doctor.
I don't think you understand how this works, actually.
When I was a beloved ruler.
Whoa!
Oh.
You don't quack, sir. What's the plan here? Let the Sontarans do the dirty work, then betray them, or eradicate them. Are you?
Ew.
How rude! How rude! Kill me right now.
Are you trying to kill me right
Binary
now?
species. You can't get a full physical lock on me because I can't even get one on myself.
Aha. Here comes my TARDIS.
Please stop torturing me.
Oh, it's just a paradox. It's fine.
Wow, you're cute. So are you. So, subject to it. Sorry if that hurts. He's going to be stuck in there for a while. I've got such a crush on her.
Are they both going together? How can they possibly both exist in the same place?
I don't know. We've done it a few times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's so painful, but we need you to hold on a little longer.
Oh.
Sit tight,
Oh.
keep going. Stay safe.
Increasing psychic load.
Oh my gosh.
Quiet human irrelevant.
Quiet human irrelevance. Oh my gosh.
No.
She has done it.
Urgent help requested.
Doctor, are you receiving?
Vinder, he's alive. How do you know Vinder?
Vinder, can you
That's
hear
my
me?
baby daddy.
You're the one he's looking for.
Not like we don't have enough to do.
Ah.
Hide and conquer. Yaz with me to Kate in the tunnels. Other me, rescue Vinder.
Other me, rescue Vinder.
Retrotemporal manifestations. Yep.
Can you not say things like we're supposed to know what they are?
They're a
Can you
result
not
of the
say
flux.
things like we're supposed to know what they are?
Thank you. When the flux comes,
Thank
blow
you.
the doors in.
Destroy all my work?
Please, this is our battle now, not yours. You may just have helped save the universe, never mind the world. Your work is done. Okay. Short, fast hop.
Oh my gosh.
Get in! Quick! TARDIS doesn't like it in here.
The moment you've been waiting for.
We're having a baby. If the universe survives.
The Sontarans are planning to use their enemies' entire armies in order to absorb the flux.
But they have to show up to lure the others in.
And they have something no one else has. Lupari shields.
Do we warn the Daleks and the Cybermen?
Save
Right.
them to defeat the Sontarans.
No. My plan's more risky than that.
Our plan's a little more risky than that.
Tasks for you all. You've all got jobs. So is this where we're going to stay for the end of the universe?
Atropos will be the final point of the flux destruction, the culmination, where time will be unleashed. Atropos, then.
Oh boy.
Jericho, Claire, use the transmat rings now.
God damn it, Jericho.
Oh no. No. No.
Oh dear.
Welcome, Dalek and Cyber comrades. This is a betrayal.
This is a betrayal.
Yeah.
Folly Shield, you're in the wrong formation. Resume protective
I
position.
don't think so.
You are not in control. We are. And this is for my people.
I'm afraid my French just took out your comms transmitters, and in 7 seconds, you'll be in the gravitational pull of the flux.
Bye-bye.
Mel, get clear.
You will suffer for this, Doctor.
It is
Will
a bit
she?
strange though that the Doctor seems so willing to just let 3 full species just die.
Just out in the corridor.
But
I've lived more in my time with you than I did during the previous 2 decades. Who has had a life like mine?
I, sir, am Professor Eustachius Jericho, Scourge of Scoundrels.
What an awfully big adventure.
Right, what were you telling me? A passenger form inside endless matter. Can't you use that to absorb what's left of the flux?
Diane, you may just save the rest of the universe.
that's a good idea.
Don't underestimate me.
We summon and open the passenger form. I knew you'd have some use.
Very Time Lord science.
yeah.
Way to play to your ego.
Savior. The flux is extinguished. What? The timeless child, a sacrifice, she is yours. But how will I reward your failure in my services?
Oh, bye.
Nice look. I fancy that coat.
There's a lot of Doctor in this episode.
I don't get how that ego appeal works now.
My turn now, is it? You can leave here, but you won't outrun me.
Time.
Your time is heading to its end. Reunify you. But for how long? Oh. Bedroom corridor. Get yourself settled in properly. Yaz, I'm sorry. I didn't let you in. I want to tell you everything.
I'd like that.
Do me a favor. Keep this safe. Somewhere I can never find it. Unless I really ask for it.
think they actually did a pretty good job of tying that all up.
Yeah.
The only
And
thing that genuinely felt rushed to me, which I'm surprised because I often feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm like, there wasn't enough development for me just in general in media that I watch. But the only thing for me that felt particularly rushed was them getting out of the passenger. That was a bit like, that's like, oh, why didn't she do that forever ago?
Yeah, like on her own. Like, why
yeah.
did she have to wait for help with that?
But everything else I actually felt like, for me, worked in terms of the pacing and the amount of development I thought it needed. Other than not really, I'd like to understand a little more about Swarm and what's her face, and like them getting sort of destroyed or not. Like, she seemed kind of happy about it. She was like, ascendants, but she had also just like earlier explained kind of their like whole worldview is like, death is what we're about. So
death
like,
is what we're about, especially with time.
So but I'm a little surprised with how satisfied I actually feel with all of that, because that could have been a real mess, but I really feel like, oh cool, I get it.
And some
I'm really
people
happy with
do see it as a mess. Some people, it just did not hit for them.
Well, yeah, crazy. No, for me it worked really well.
And for me, especially in this episode, you can see where they just like them getting out of the passenger. Like, there's just moments where it's like, I can see where this, even if they just had 2 more episodes, even if they just had 2 more episodes, I think there's just some stuff that could have been fleshed out a little bit better. Like the last episode with the doctor, getting turned into an angel and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they could have played with some of that a little bit more if they had more time to do so.
Sure. Yeah.
But honestly, overall, I think for me, mine is the Grand Serpent story. I'm a little like, it's just kind of like, okay, we got him to like, it just kind of was like, whoop, it wrapped up nicely, and that's fine. That's okay. I'm all right to just accept that, because overall, like, really
that does wrap up quickly, but for me, like, what happens makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't need, for me, I don't need more. I don't need any more justification or explanation. It makes sense that they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to exile him, and why both of them want to do it. And it makes sense. They've already established the door thing. It would have been, for me, it would have been weird if like, suddenly they're in this room and there's doors to different dimensions right before they exile him through one. And then I'd been like, okay, that's weird. But because the rest of that was established, I can be like, okay, cool, that's how they're dealing with him. But it is interesting. I guess it's not that interesting. I was like, at first it was interesting that like he doesn't remember Vinder, but at the same time, he was just this lackey who was there for like what, 2 days or whatever before he banishes him. So why would he remember? Also, why was he
exiled? Why was
he
that's my thing, is like his backstory of like what?
His backstory of like why he left whatever planet they were from and was fucking around with the unit, like, and don't really know why.
And what was,
so like, that would have been interesting to know a little more of that. And you're right, if they had 2 more episodes, that torture scene could have been longer, and we could have learned more about what's his face. So
definitely. Maybe gotten like a flashback or like a anything of the sort. So that's my thing for that one, because like for Swarm and Azura, like I can suspend my disbelief for that one just because of how much they instilled that they were just pure chaos. They wanted nothing other than death and chaos, and we did
get that monologue from her that explained a lot of what they think, and that just something like that goes such a long way to establishing an understanding with a character to help make everything else they do then feel, or what happens to them, feel more justified and earned, because we learned this thing about them.
And at the end there, like with her monologue, because time took Swarm's appearance in that moment, like the doctor said, the ego aspect of it, like, so it took Swarm's appearance, and I feel like in that last moment Swarm is like almost yells in like kind of like a, like I'm not quite finished, But Azora,
she's like
ascension.
Yeah.
Like she's fucking ready for it, which I think is so interesting for Storm's character because of him being like to reign in hell and all of that. And then that very last moment to have his own self kind of take him apart. I don't know. There's something about that I like a lot. Storm is just like one of my favorite, like one-off, like, I don't know if it's, I guess, really a one-off because it's like the entire Flux story, but he's just so good.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, the design for those two characters, I mean, we've talked about it every episode this series, but like the design for those characters is so top-notch as well. Like
it's unreal.
It's really the artistic direction of the entire series for 13 I think works so well. Visually it really works. Their design works. It matches really well with what things look like because they turn people like into glitter and they're themselves sparkly.
And the more that they like build on that, and I love that when we saw the flashback of them from all those years ago when the doctor was the fugitive doctor, they were older and more like their rock form was almost more clumped and like this interesting, like it's just so it's interesting. And then like again, like I only noticed it really in this episode, and it may have been present in the other episodes, but this is the only time I really noticed it. But that like Star Wars kind of vibe that started happening, which I really enjoyed more than any of the new Star Wars. Actually, I enjoyed more of. And then at the end, I'm seeing the three of them there, and I'm like, wait, is this on purpose? Is this supposed to be like Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Princess Leia for a second? Like, is that what's going on right now? There's nothing like, you know, there's
but
nothing
like it's kind
about
of
it, but
funny.
it's
Like
kind of that
I feel
vibe.
like it had to be in somebody's mind
It
that
had
like
to have been,
you know,
because they're about to go off on the, you know, Millennial Falcon and like have adventures. Like, come on.
I'd watch that spin-off series. By the way,
fuck yeah, I would too.
I'd watch their spin-off for sure.
Yeah. You know, there are people who don't like the fact that she dropped the fob watch into the TARDIS.
Why don't they like that?
I don't know.
Because they just wanted her to get her memories back?
It's, you know, everyone's got their different.
I'm like, I don't like.
I love it because
I think she needs to not need to know.
I think that especially Jodie's doctor, I think Jodie's doctor needed to be the one to let go of that want and that need.
Yeah.
I think it's Jodie's doctor that needed to go, you know what? It's not, I don't need it.
Because that motivation to find out what was going on with her was causing her to make bad choices throughout this whole Flux story.
Bad choices.
And that's why, like, there was a point where I was like, you've got to let go of needing this. You have to
let it go. And so for her to be able to make that decision on her own with no one threatening the universe or life or anything, just her in that moment to go, no.
It felt very justified to me. But we all have different
things. And for me as well, in my opinion, it is a nice little kiss from Chibnall to the next.
Like, hey, you don't have to deal with this.
You don't have to, but
it's there if you want it.
If you want to.
But you don't have to. You can let that go. And that
you
is
can
nice,
literally let it go. Or, hey, you want to fuck around and find out and play around with the idea of
that's
it?
Here,
there you go.
Yeah.
It's theirs. It's yours to have. So, yeah, I adore this. I think it's great. I think it'll be fun, especially because Russell T Davies has already said that he really likes the Timeless Child storyline.
It's interesting, and why not? And here's the thing I was thinking about too is like things. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you didn't. Go, please.
Things are constantly changing. So if you think even about, I don't know exactly when it happened. If it happened in the canon right before the 9th Doctor, or if it happened in the in-between time with the weird American Doctor, whatever's going on with that. But when the Doctor destroys Gallifrey, does that happen at the end of Classic? Does that happen?
From what I understand and what I know, and dear God, please, you all will let me know if I'm wrong. But off the top of my head, I believe that is RTD who did that.
So like things are always being, anyone comes in, every time a new showrunner comes in, they do their own thing. Like in Classic Who,
that's what I was saying.
The Doctor was not the only Time Lord left in existence.
No. Yeah.
New Who, you're like, oh, he's just the only Time Lord left in existence until he's not anymore. You know, like And then suddenly we're like, oh no, there are other Time Lords. And then suddenly it's like, oh no, Gallifrey's around, but now it's not around, it's hidden. But actually it's back
it's in
again.
a time bubble. Oh, but it's for
the
but no.
Doctor was at first manipulated by Time Lords to go on these adventures. No. Clara actually did all of these things. Oh no. It's a random orphan who was found, and then that's how Time Lords were created. Oh no. You know, like,
whatever.
it's constantly changing.
And that's what we talked about.
It's always happened. It's always been the case.
The classic episode with the Cybermen.
Yeah.
When it was that new, no one had ever done Cybermen like that. And
Like, we
literally
just wanna
the
do the
writer
Cybermen like this
just, yeah, he literally was just like, well, this is what I want to do. And so he did it. And people, you know what? Were upset about it. There were people
sure
at the
they
time that were
were.
upset about it. And it's a constant thing, but it's like, you have a show about time and space. Like, you're traveling through time and space.
It's already wibbly wobbly.
It's already going to be absolutely out the wazoo of meshy, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly bullshit.
Right.
And again, I commend Chibnall for opening up a door, because now it just leaves more room for more play. It's because what are we going to keep doing? Are we going to
the same fucking stories over and over again?
Matt Smith got stuck on this planet called Christmas and he's dying, and but the Time Lords granted him one more regeneration. So like, how many times are we going to do weird things so that regeneration can keep going?
So the show can keep happening. Like, to an extent, you're like, okay, come on.
What are we going to do? So are we just going to keep giving him accidental regenerations, or are we going to do something fun? Like, you know what? Fuck it. There's just regenerations there. Like, you know.
Actually, we were lying. You're not limited on your regenerations.
I am okay with it. I am okay with it.
I know we still have 2 specials left to watch, but in terms of like
2
Series
specials,
13,
and then we'll make it to the last one.
But man, I have really enjoyed Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall's run on this show. I have really enjoyed it.
Correct.
And I did not know if I would, because I knew that so many people were loud on the internet about Doctor Who being ruined. But like, man, this has been my jam for sure.
So fucking good.
It's been my jam for sure.
This can also, with all of those opinions, it's a 50-50 for some people. And some of you on YouTube and Patreon have said, when you first watched Jodie's seasons, you were already tainted and you ended up not liking the series as much. And upon rewatch and letting that go, people have enjoyed it more. And I think there's also the other end of it, where people just talk so much shit about something that you're just like, I'm just going to go into this with an open mind.
I went in with kind of logs, with waiting for the moment where I wasn't going to like it. And there were moments here and there. Of course, there always will be. But I was like, wow, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it just hasn't.
And it just hasn't.
For me.
For those of you that think that because there are some of you on YouTube who think that we've had absolutely no negative feedback towards Jodie's series episodes whatsoever.
Do I need to have any?
Do we need to? One, no, we can just enjoy something if we want
to
enjoy something.
Do I need to have any negative feedback? I'm a reactor. No. I'm not a reviewer.
Yeah.
And we weren't super glowing about that Rosa Parks episode. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm sorry.
So that's what
I don't give
like,
a fuck.
That's what I mean is like, it's interesting what people choose to hold on to and see when it's like, I know for a fact I've talked openly about some of these episodes and where I thought they lacked. Are you kidding me? The spider episode with the Trump knockoff?
Yeah, that one was a little weird. Yeah,
it's
that one was a strange
episode. There's really great parts in it. There's some good fucking monologues, but it's a weird episode that ends in a giant spider getting shot by him, and it's it's like, well, okay.
If you want negative reactions, just go back and watch how I feel about Stephen Moffat, and there you go. And you know what happened when that happened?
When you had
people
opinions.
were mad and left the channel. So what's happening is people, and I understand why, I get this. People are looking for confirmation bias. They want us to like what they like and dislike what they don't like, but we're all different. Yeah. And I understand, because the reason we do these shows together is KATRINA wants to share with me a show they love.
Yep.
And wants me to enjoy it. I want to share with KATRINA a show I love, and I want KATRINA to enjoy it. So I or to not like the things that I don't. I get it. We want to share the experience that you've had with the property, but there are things in Star Trek that I have loved, and Katrina's been like, I wasn't feeling that. Or things that I've been like, I think this episode's kind of dumb, and Katrina's like, wow, this actually was really good. I'm like, yeah, totally. I don't want to like take to you by saying like, I thought this one was stupid, but
you know.
So like I get it, but also like there is nothing disingenuous about liking something.
No, it is okay for people to just like something through and through because they want to. And that's that. And gods, I really hope that so many of you got to enjoy the Flux storyline so much more, and Jodie's series and her run so much more, because it's, god damn it, she's good. God damn it, she's good, and they're all good.
I do not think that she was disserviced. Like everyone's like, oh, she was just let down by the writing or the plots or whatever. For me, that's not the case. I
think
that maybe I also was just, we've talked about this before. If you wanted more Stephen Moffat style storytelling, I can see why this felt like a letdown.
Upsetting. Yeah.
But for me, I was exhausted,
tired of Moffat's
by that.
writing.
It felt like M. Night Shyamalan, you know, where you're like, I don't need you to do some wild, crazy twist that won't work for me. Like, I don't need to feel like you're trying to trick me into suddenly being sad about something. I just want to watch like a fun story. And this did that for me. And so where I am in my life and in my journey as a Whovian right now, this is what I needed. But if that isn't your jam, then I get why you're like, this didn't work for me. And that's okay.
And that's okay. I think her run has really made me just reminisce on so much classic Who, like just such a classic Who vibe. I have loved it. I have, you know, especially the Flux. It felt like, I mean, like a longer version of a Doctor Who serial, but it's the way that we have like those, you know, 4-part serials or 6-part serials that we get of classic Who. And like, I don't know, I've really loved it. I've loved all the companions. I love the temporary companions, you know, Jericho, Eustachius. Like,
oh, Jericho. I love it. What a fabulous character. And what a great, amazing
final moment.
Gosh.
Final moments where absolutely, I just got chills head
I
to
did
toe.
too. I just got goosebumps.
Because it,
like I don't, you probably can't see it, but I have goosebumps.
There. Like, there it is. I have lived more in this time than I have in 2 decades.
And then to just be like,
oh,
it's like that Peter Pan thing. It's like, what a great adventure. Death will be a great adventure. And to be like, okay, here's the next stage of existence.
Damn, it's so good. It really, like, Jericho's story really, and he's one of those characters when we first meet him, you're kind of like, but it does not last long.
Yeah.
It does not last long. He very quickly just, and you're just like, oh no, you've taken my heart. Oh no. Yeah. Like, I love you. You've been around for 2.5 episodes, and I want you, I want to cherish and protect you. That's the Flux storyline. I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
I loved it. And the next 2 episodes coming up, you know, people had stuff to say about those as well, as they always do.
You know.
And I'm excited to enjoy it with you.
Me too.
Oh, God.
And you know what? We should get to it.
We should. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for rewatching this with us if maybe you didn't enjoy it the first time around.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you still don't enjoy it but you stuck around because it was fun to watch with us,
thank you a lot. Yes.
And thank you for sharing your opinions as to maybe why it didn't work for you.
Yeah.
Like, again, like Paula went on to say, like, it's just some things work for some people and some things don't work for others. You know?
That's the beauty of a show that regenerates itself.
That's the beauty
every so
of
often
it.
As well.
That's the beauty of it.
Because there might be an era of it that isn't quite for you, but there will be another era of it that is.
That will come back around.
So, yeah.
And that's that. Like, subscribe, comment, share the video. We're so close to Paula being caught up. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers. We're so close to getting to go to Gallifrey 1 together. We are like, woo, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh my God.
Yup. If you would like to support what we're doing financially, keeping the channel running, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/GallifreyGals. You'll get access to our Discord community, full-length reactions, treats, and the joy of knowing that you keep this channel something that we can
honestly
do.
There's some fun little videos
Some stuff coming
that
up.
I'm gonna try to edit for our patrons, because this comes out right before we take our little break next week. So happy holidays. But there's gonna be some little Doctor Who treats that our patrons will definitely get to see before YouTube does, and they might be some really fun,
pretty awesome
videos.
It's pretty cool
that were made by people in the Doctor Who world.
What? Yeah.
One of them might be the Doctor. Which one? Who knows?
Which one?
On that note,
catch your Gallifrey Gals next time as we watch more Who.
Who?
The Doctor, but which one?
Ooh.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up, and if you want to be notified when we post new content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell in the corner.